on the next episode of The Walking Dead.
I don't like it either, but we're all on the same side.
Are we, though?
Well, you tell me.
We need to start talking about making some rules.
A horde's coming!
The sanctuary group's scared.
We'll make sure they're protected.
They work for you and you protect them. What does that sound like to you?
You're not saving the world. You're just getting it ready for me.
Stream episodes and extras on the AMC app.
We need the food. I was hoping you might send enough to tide them over while we figure this out.
We could do it. We have the surpluses.
Yeah, but for how long? Till we get that fuel? Our tractor's not moving, which means the big fields don't get plowed and the yield comes in short.
What about the plow we brought back from the museum?
I need a blacksmith to fix it, and I don't have one right now.
How long is Earl gonna be locked up?
I don't know. I haven't decided. First time we've had to deal with something like this.
It might be time then to start talking about making some rules. Do you think he'd ever do something like this again?
I didn't think that he'd do it the first time.
Well, you didn't hang him like you did Gregory. There must be a reason for that.
So should I let him walk like nothing happened?
No. I hate what he did to you. To Enid. But if keeping him locked up means that the crops don't get planted, then it's not just him that gets punished.
Hilltop will be fine. Until that ethanol shows up, we're holding on to our surpluses because we're gonna need him.
Rick has finally created the community that he had always hoped for.
You find Rick and Michonne joined in this endeavor to try and rebuild the civilization. There are seeds here, and they will be invaluable for the sanctuary and new growth.
So far, so good.
The whole journey to the museum and to utilize things that were archaic. And now they're matters of survival to make their world better.
One of them came through here in the back end, took down the bridge, took the walkie repeater with it.
You can get to Alexandria from this side. Stay there till it passes.
No. Maggie's still not willing to go back to Alexandria, and she hasn't been to Alexandria in all this time. She doesn't want to be in the same place as Negan.
Hello. All was well in your absence, other than a certain cabal of saviors slinging me some serious stink eye.
Daryl has become a person who is helping the sanctuary rebuild.
I don't want to be the one leading these people anymore. Okay.
The relationship between Daryl and Rick, it's changed. It's almost like we're fighting for the hope of what he represents more than the guy himself.
If a sanctuary needs food, I'll give it to him. But they provide most of the labor on the bridge for us. And they send over all the fuel they've been making from their dead corn.
Sanctuary's barely holding on right now. We're obliged to help.
He sees the bigger picture, I think, Rick, whereas everybody else is dealing with the immediate. We have to come together. We have to build this thing because otherwise we're not going to survive.
I've been thinking, maybe we need an agreement between all the communities.
Charter is something that it is sort of bringing people together in a simpler form.
This is what we believe. This is how we treat each other. And this is what happens when we don't.
She feels is much more achievable in terms of how do we make sure that we create a system of conduct that is accessible.
You want to leave this place? You can't even murder someone, right?
You blame me. You attacked me. And I defended myself.
Maggie needs to do what is right for her community to show that she deserves to be their leader.
People need to understand that at Hilltop, the punishment fits the crime. Maggie really has to be fortified in this decision.
Do you have any final words?
She's making a moral statement about what the Hilltop is going to do when it comes to crime and punishment.
I'm not ashamed.
Maggie, it was understood in the sense that she was a leader and this man attempted to kill her. There's a deep concern about what the repercussions are going to be and how that sets a precedent.
I made this decision, but this is not the beginning of something. I don't want to go through it again. Cut him down.
We'd always wanted to do a DC run. That was something that I'd been wanting to do for years.
Beginning of the show, you know, we have this great montage of the empty streets of Washington, D.C. We're really stepping out of our comfort zone and redressing entire city streets. Buildings with vines growing over them, and it's just something we've never done on the show before.
Horses, carriages, wagons, motorcycles.
Riding on horses through the center of Atlanta downtown was pretty cool because it kind of reflected back on the pilot in this really interesting way.
Yeah, being on horseback in Atlanta again, it really was a trip down memory lane.
The cast has really gotten into riding. I have to say, it's the riding dead.
Welcome to the Georgia State Capitol, where bills become laws. We're pretending that it's a museum. We got a wagon here that we're gonna try and take back to Alexandria, the Hilltop. I don't know, maybe we'll have a raffle, figure out who gets it.
I don't think any show has ever taken over the State House and filled it full of zombies.
Have a stunt here where somebody falls off the third story. So we scan the walker and we'll make a digital model out of him and animate him toppling over the edge.
What we're going to do here is just film the portion where it cracks and he's just going to literally fall out of frame. Then we will jump to the future where we've rescued him and he'll pop up into frame and dust himself off and say, whew, that was close. We have actually built the basement set. We have a stunt double for King Ezekiel. We just have a bunch of stunt walkers underneath him.
We're putting walkers here on this blue stage, and we're gonna do basically a crowd tiling where you take all your different layers and pieces and layer them together into one final shot.
Designing that sequence and sort of breaking out what was going to be shot in the real museum location, and then we built a set here that we put the walkers in, and we put the camera above it on a big technocrane arm so that we were able to arm out and look over. So every time they look down, their point of view is shot on a set here. It was probably one of the most complicated scenes that I had ever shot. We're giving the fans The Walking Dead that they fell in love with. And I couldn't be more excited about what we've done this season so far.
I don't want to do this. But people need to understand that at Hilltop, the punishment fits the crime. Do you have any final words?
What you're doing isn't right. Somebody stop this, please. Killing me in the dead of night because you're ashamed.
You're wrong. I'm not ashamed.
Stop this! Please! For the love of God! Stop it!
Maggie, stop!
No!
Get the children back in bed. I made this decision. But this is not the beginning of something. I don't want to go through it again. Cut him down.